Hey guys, thank you for tuning back into Albatross Barbecue. Today we're going to be smoking beef cheeks. I'm going to be making a chimichurri sauce as well. This thing is going to be absolutely outstanding, so stay tuned.
Beef cheeks. I love beef cheeks. They're like mini briskets. They're quicker to cook, they're smaller, but you can achieve absolutely fantastic results with beef cheeks. And what I want to do today is treat this like a brisket in terms of the trim. What I'm going to be doing first is just patting it dry. There's plenty of fat on the beef cheeks, so it involves a decent amount of trim for the size of what the piece of meat is. So let's start by chopping away at this fat. With brisket, you like to leave yourself a decent fat cap on top. The fat gives flavor, it protects the meat from the flames if you're cooking it over fire. But with beef cheeks, it's a little bit different. There's beautiful intermuscular fat within the beef cheeks already. The trim is basically getting rid of all the fat, all the horrible fat that's going to be chewy and not really break down. And then what you're left with is this beautiful piece of meat. For my rub today, I've got some pink Himalayan salt, pepper, I've got some paprika, some onion powder, and then I've got myself some thyme. I'm going to throw this into my shaker and prepare the meat by putting on a binder. And for that, I'm going to be using yellow mustard. Cover both sides well and then get your rub. Sprinkle it all over. Be careful not to over season. It's only a small piece of meat. It can take a reasonable amount of rub, but don't over season it because you still want to get that flavor from the beef. These things are good to go straight away if you want to, or you can just leave them sitting here for 15-20 minutes. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference in my opinion. I wanted to get my Acorn Char Griller Smoker out today, so I've got a few coals firing up over there, and I've set myself up just a little bit of coal with some cherry wood inside. It's like the snake method, except it's only going to be about a 6-hour cook, so it doesn't need to be too big. And what I'm going to be doing now is just getting my hot coals, not too hot, okay, because I don't want to get this up to temperature too quickly. I want it to get up nice and slowly. I'm going to put my heat deflector on, as well as some water, which will help me regulate the temperature of this smoker, followed by my grill. And then of course, I'm going to throw in my temperature probe so I can keep a good eye on the temperature of the smoker. Once I get to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to stabilize the temperature by moving it down to just below the 1 on the top damper as well as the bottom damper. I'm going to place my beef cheeks right in the middle of the grill, so just above that water. The water is not going to give it any more additional moisture or anything like that. It's just going to help regulate the temperature. So I'm going to put in my thermometers. That'll give me a good reading for where it's at, and I'm just going to let it cook. After only 45 minutes, I noticed one of the beef cheeks was just over 100 degrees Fahrenheit and the other was 130. And that could very well be due to the positioning of the beef cheeks. So I just moved them around. Time to make ourselves a chimichurri sauce. Chimichurri sauce goes beautifully with steak. To make a chimichurri sauce, it's really easy. Grab yourself half a cup of olive oil. You've got a couple of tablespoons of red wine vinegar, a cup of chopped parsley, about 3 cloves of garlic, or you can use minced garlic like I have. I've then got 1 small red cayenne chili where I've taken the seeds out just so it doesn't make it quite so spicy. I've got about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of dried oregano, as well as some salt and pepper. Give that a good mix and it's done. Moving the meat around has certainly done its job, and I'm approximately 75 minutes into the cook. And as you can see, I'm starting to get some nice color. It's cooking absolutely beautifully. From a cooking point of view, I was hovering around that 235 degrees Fahrenheit for most of the cook, and I wanted to speed this up a little bit, but I didn't want to increase my temperature. So what I did was grab myself a foil tray, let it cook for half an hour, get it up to about 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and then wrap it up. Because it is only a small piece of meat, getting up to a higher temperature in the 190s doesn't take long at all. So let's have a little look. I am aiming for about 204 to 205 degrees, so I don't think they're going to be done, but for the purpose of the video, I just wanted to probe the tenderness. I was still getting a little bit of resistance, as you can see. It needed to go for about another 35 to 45 minutes. Sure enough, at that point, as you can see, I'm at the temperature that I want to be. I'm showing just over the 200 degrees, 203, 204. Time to give it a little bit of a rest and then cut her up. These beef cheeks had some great color, and when slicing them up, the knife was gliding through. I was really happy with the result. Time to get the chimichurri and throw it over the top of one of the beef cheeks. My son didn't want it on the other one, but I love chimichurri. And just look at that beef cheek. Beautiful color, beautiful moisture. I cannot wait to give this a go.
All right, so here we have our beef cheeks smoked for about 5 to 6 hours. Our chimichurri, let's give it a bash. The meat is tender, it's not overdone, so it's not falling apart, because that wasn't what I was going for. But the chimichurri, it gives the beef a whole new different flavour. Really bloody tasty. That is fantastic, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again in the next one.
If you love brisket, but you don't like cooking all day, maybe beef cheeks is something that you need to consider, because they are absolutely outstanding. The chimichurri sauce gives it a completely different flavor and dimension. Absolutely loved it. Thanks for watching, guys.